All right, this drill is a total Wing Chun drill, but it's absolutely usable in real life combat in the street and definitely in mixed martial arts. But because there's elbows involved, I would say you have to be a pro fighter. In most states, pro fighters can use their elbows. But the drill is simple, so I'm gonna go through it step by step, and you have to visualize we're both just fighters, okay? So this person is gonna throw his one to my face because he's trying to set me up for this shot. So when he throws it, we have what's called a pak sao. So in boxing, it's a parry, so I'm just parrying that shot, but in Wing Chun, it's called a pak sao. Now in real life, I'm gonna first show how I'm gonna step in. In real life, I wanna try to end this as soon as possible. So I'm gonna pak and what's called a lan sao, but if I let it go, it's called a man sao. So a lan sao, put it like this for a second. A lan sao is where my elbow is bent this way, okay, like a 90-degree angle. And then a man sao is where my elbow, my hand extends, okay? So the vernacular for this is important. So if I were doing this a little fast, before he even shot this hand, when he throws this jab and I pocket, it's boom. There's that shot, bing, okay? And that happens almost instantaneously. We're both dancing, we're both moving, and he throws that jab because he then wants to throw this shot. Well, I try to just cut the whole thing, the whole middleman out the window. So this space that we have here, slow motion, this space that we have here, I'm trying to gauge. He's coming to my face, and I replace my face with the pak sao, simultaneously moving in so that I can buffer that space in hopes that I can just throw this. Now, the closer I get to his face, so when he comes in, boom, the closer I get to his face, I don't have to do a man sao anymore. I'm just gonna throw the elbow. Here's my lan, and then boom, okay? But being that he's a good fighter, he's technical, and when he feels that pak sao, something in his body is going to move and alert him, I might just get the man sao. Now the man sao, I'm hitting with this part. Here's your radius bone and here's your ulna bone. I'm trying to hit with the ulna / wrist bone right into his jugular vein, okay? And that'll cause enough of a stun for the shot to the temple or the neck. So to practice that with mitts, we'll do it slow. He's coming in and I pak, and then he, see that? This is gonna represent his neck as he's coming in. And then he's gonna leave it there. I'm gonna throw the quan sao, bam, and the quan sao, boom, all right? Now the quan sao is going to be pop, pop. Like I said, it happens super fast. So just give me for quan sao, boom, and quan sao, boom, okay? So basically, you have to imagine that I'm already in proximity and I'm close. So that's why I'm showing you how to practice it with mitts and then how it's applied when it's real life. So with mitts, I'm gonna quan, quan. So it happens like this. Happens fast. So this is slow motion, touch and go. Now I want you to keep in mind that when I shoot the next one, I'm closing that gap further. So a perfect example of what this looks like is, let's say he actually did throw this 3 to me. 1, 2, 3, yes. He threw a 3 to my face and I crush his hand, and then I need to move in boom, to crush his face. So the space gets closer and closer. Okay, so let's just go through the whole process again. He's gonna throw the shot. I'm gonna pak, man sao, and with mitts on, that represents his face, and then I'm gonna quan, quan, okay? So he throws it in, and it pak man, and then what? Close it, and I close that gap. And I want you to notice my body structure, how I sit. So the more I sit into the ground, it's just like a spring being compressed, ready to pop. That power that I'm generating in there is what's releasing my elbows, or releasing through my elbows, okay? So you could leave the mitts now, just throw them over there. So I'm gonna go through this slow. Again, there's the mitt workout, so this way you can see, and then there's the actual application. So when you see slow motion, he goes in here, and I do this, that head is what he's using his mitts for when you're doing the practice part of it. Again, in real life, I'm gonna go regular speed, kind of. Boom! Bam! Okay? That explosion happens instantaneously. So what happens 9 out of 10 times, and I understand there's a lot of factors, okay? But what happens 9 out of 10 times is the guy throws the punch and you kind of do this. So if you notice, in my fear or in my trepidation or my lack of understanding in my position, I moved back, okay? So there's nothing wrong with that if you're repositioning maybe for a shot or some other thing. But if you want to end the fight soon, or if you at least want to make your stamp and let them know that you mean business from the get, that punch comes in and boom, there's that shot. My knee collides with his knee and then back. And this happens compressed and fast. So I showed you how you actually use it when you're actually applying it for real and what shots you'll be hitting, preferably in here where there's a lot of nerve damage. And then of course, how to use this when you're doing mitt. So it's important that the person or your partner who's holding the mitts for you understands the timing. So on that note, real quick, with regards to the mitts, pretend you had the mitts. When you're doing this, just know the person who's holding the mitts that he's gonna throw this and be ready for this elbow shot simultaneously. Okay, so slow motion, it goes like this. Whoa, I'm sorry, not elbow shot, the mansao. So he comes in and I go, whoa, that mitt has to be ready. So this one comes in and watch me collapse and I close the gap, okay? So whoever's doing that mitt work just has to understand what's coming, and it's literally instantaneously. All right, any questions, comments, remarks, or anything that you want to put down in the comments, by all means, you guys know how to reach out to me, DM me, call me, text me, fax me, email me, do whatever, and just let me know what your comments are, all right? Looking forward to hearing from you. Peace.